Let's see what I do to upgrade my very first minis ever painted. So these Terminator models are from the Leviathan box set that I purchased over a year ago when I first started this rabbit hole of a hobby. The Terminators are by far my favorite models, not because they're my first, but because they're big, legendary units, so I decided what can I do in order to make them even better. As you can see, I am cutting the pauldrons off. The reason for this is because the arms were just one mold, meaning the pauldrons were not a separate piece from the shoulders. And in order to fit the new pauldrons on, I had to cut these ones off. Very unfortunate, but it had to be done. Next, I'm shaving away the vents on the top for the braziers that will be attached. You can also kind of see the church towers along with the collar that I added to the front. Next is the capes. I followed the same paint recipe as my other Dark Angels videos, so if you want to check those out, go ahead. So in order to match the pauldrons, the collar, and the cape, I wanted to buy a good front piece for the Terminators as well. But seeing how annoying the pauldrons were, I decided against it, but I made these hybrids out of green stuff instead. In the future, if I were to do more Terminators, I would just buy all the pieces separate before I put it together. Now when working with this stuff, I've noticed to get it wet, that way it doesn't stick on everything because it does dry pretty fast. So every once in a while, take a brush and just dab it with water. On to painting. So these are going to match my Deathwing colors. You're probably asking why did I not prime it in black or use alcohol to scrub away the old paint? Well, I tried the alcohol, but it did not work even after being left in the container for almost a day. I believe the models were protected by the varnishes I tested out. Some had the gloss varnish, some had the matte varnish. So I just painted over it. Here I'm just dry brushing over the Caliban green, bring out some of those highlights. After the cape was done and the base was done for the armor, I've jumped into the Khorne red for the bolter and the chest emblem, with again painting over the previous paints because they did not scrub off easily. For the Brazier Flames, I'm getting better at it, I feel like. Previously, I was not good at fire, and I'm still not good at fire. But the method I'm doing now is just mixing the colors as they're still somewhat wet. I use a red, like Khorne red, as my base. Start from the bottom and it goes midway through the top. And then as it's somewhat dried, I then go on top with a yellow and then mixing them in the middle. Trying to give them a wet blend. I think this method gives me better results than letting each layer dry and then blend them afterwards. Once it did dry though, I did add some small highlights of yellow at the top. And the plasma cannon you're seeing as well is a upgraded sprue from the Dark Angels upgrade kit. Now into one of my more least favorite parts, but a part necessary, is the metallics. The only reason why I don't like metallics is because of what they do to my brushes. Luckily, these are cheap brushes from Amazon. After adding the silver metallic, I was debating on the pauldron colors for a very long time. So I just decided to start off with black and kind of go from there. Turns out I really did like the black as the base, so I kept it. I feel like the black just gives it a little more pop and then adds a little more colors as well, so it's not just reds, greens, and tans. Onto the gold trim now. These go on the raised pauldrons, sword handle, the buttons from the cape. For the base, I followed the same method as my previous Bladeguard Veterans video. I lay down this technical paint, and then later on, once that's dried, I make a muddier paint mixture, put that on top. Then as that's drying, I put down some Elmer's glue to sprinkle on the grass, and then some super glue to put the dried grass tufts. So after I attach the dry grass tuff, I then grab these fall color leaves. To me, they just bring out the Dark Angel colors for the Deathwing. And who doesn't love fall? My idea for these bases are the Dark Angels are still traversing Caladan before it got destroyed. And they're walking through the forest to defend their homeland from the monsters that be. After doing the leaves a few times, I definitely need to find a better way to attach them. Maybe if there's like a spray super glue that I can do. Because this method of placing a glob of glue and then painstakingly picking them on there, it's not it. And alright, here are my Deathwing themed Terminators. I really love how they turned out. The Pauldrons look great, the Braziers look great. I do need to work on the green stuff tabards. I've not the greatest at green stuff, but thanks for watching.